It is episode 3 of the BTV series with me, your host with the most, Boadicea, Midar from Food and Fragrances. Just want to say thank you guys for joining me. We're going to tackle the next set of 10 fragrances in my BTV Boadicea the Victorious collection. So, what that means is we'll be hitting number 25 all the way down to 16, which is 10 fragrances, and continue on the list. So without further ado, let's play my music, and when we get back, we'll kick it off. Welcome. Just want to say thank you guys all for the support. Episode 1 was a hit. Episode 2, getting there. So truly appreciate the support. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the list. I know there has been a couple of surprises along the way. But either way, it's my ranking. It's how I kind of feel about the fragrances. As I always say, if you had the same 46 bottles, I guarantee you our list would be different. And that's okay. But that's kind of how the fragrances speak to me. There will be a couple surprises along the way on this episode, so stay tuned. I hope you guys are ready for an awesome rocking episode. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to tackle fragrances number 25 to 16 within my collection. Now, if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you go up to the top. There will be the bar there. You can catch episode 1, episode 2, or a Boadicea playlist, whatever you guys like. But make sure you guys are caught up on that so you have continuity of what we're doing here. But also make sure that you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and share the content with your friends, your family, whoever's into fragrances, even if you're a part of the groups or whatnot. Really helps me out. So truly appreciate that, and like the video. Let me know what your scent of the day is, but I guess let's get the ball rolling. We're going to hit up fragrance number 25 in my collection from Boadicea the Victorious. Now, this fragrance to me was a fragrance that I didn't like at the start. It was something totally different than what I expected from the brand, right? A lot of it, you get pure clarity of the notes. You get a wonderful blend and composition. There's no harshness. There's no synthetics. Hyde Park must have been, coming in at number 25, Hyde Park, spoiler alert. Hyde Park must have been one of those fragrances that could have been a part of the earlier release, because there is quite a bit of syntheticness to this fragrance, and I think that comes from the notes of cologne. Cologne is very much sort of like a synthetic melon type of note. Now, I'll say this, Hyde Park is not similar to many fragrances that I've smelt that kind of have that type of feel to it, so it is unique in its sense. But as I wore it more, I liked the fragrance quite a bit. I really did. This is a aromatic, citrusy, a little bit sharp, a little bit clean, a little bit elegant type of fragrance. It is a little bit of a floral type of fragrance as well, but the florals are kind of there to complement the fragrance more so than take it's center stage. I think mostly what you're going to get out of this is a beautiful, clean, aromatic blend. Now, this is a fragrance that I liked wearing, especially in summer. I thought in summer it was fantastic. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this does have a note of oud in here, which it does. But you get this wonderful neroli in here that I thought was a great complement to the citrus opening with the oud dry down. And the oud has zero animalics. You're just getting pure woodiness out of this composition. I really like it. Really like it, to the fact that it's become a fragrance I actually crave in warmer weather. And I like wearing because it does make me feel a little bit more gentlemanly in a sense. It has that cleanliness that I really like. And you kind of get used to the synthetics. So If you haven't tried Hyde Park, don't look this one off. I think this one is a banger, especially for summer. I don't necessarily want to say it's a complex fragrance, but what it does is it does it well. And, I definitely think it's worth getting a nose on, but try not to overpay for this. I do think this one may be one of the discontinued ones. So if it's a price that's a little bit astronomical, I probably might skip it. But once I finish this bottle, I'll definitely be on the hunt for it. I do like this fragrance quite a bit, to the fact that it's very easy to wear for me now once I've kind of gotten over the expectation. To the fact that I'd like to make this sort of almost close to a signature scent. I'd wear it more often than I would. But I think my signature scents would be a little bit more kind of higher. So this would just come below my signature scents for what I have. And maybe you might get a video on that later. But number 25 is Hyde Park. Now, the next fragrance on this list is coming in at 24. This fragrance is wonderful. This is a great testament to the House of Boadicea. I think if you're interested in this house, there will be a point in time that you will come across this fragrance and add it into your collection without doubt. I'm very certain of that. And the reason why I say that is it's priced really, really well. Availability is there. It comes in 50 ml, comes in 100 ml, so you got both. And it's a testament to Boadicea, where even though the fragrance isn't priced high, you are getting through and through quality. And I like that about Boadicea, right? You have lower tier fragrances, like lower end price fragrances. You have mid tier and you have high tier. And the low tier are fantastic. Like, it's not something you can scoff at and be like, oh yeah, this must be crap. No, no, not a chance. So 24 is Ardent. Now, with Ardent, a lot of people will say, compare it to Noir de Noir. Fine, sure, that's fair, but the quality of this is fantastic. Scent of the day, wearing it. It's a beautifully delicate rose fragrance with a nice subtle sweetness. The woodiness of this fragrance is beautiful. The florality of this fragrance is beautiful. This is something that can easily be feminine leaning, but still highly unisex. Very, very good for men to wear, in my honest opinion. This is a treat. There's something about it that is so mystical, so, I like to kind of say, Disney. There's some special essence in the air when you wear this. And the trail that it leaves is fantastic. Beautiful, beautiful. Through and through fragrance. There's something in this that is just absolutely beautiful. And I think it's that honey, if I'm not mistaken. Because there's a depth to the sweetness that I think only honey could provide, and not like an amber or a vanilla. Like, I'm sure there's vanilla in here for sure, but the honey vanilla combination, if there is vanilla in here, is fantastic. I just love this. And the rose is beautifully delicate. This is a special fragrance. This is something that you wear on a date night. You go out, you're in a cooler, mid-warm type of feeling type of day. You're out on a date, and you're outdoors. The scent trail on this is fantastic. And anybody catches a whiff of this, it'll be very, very pleasant, very, very easy to love. And again, Ardent, even available on Boadicea's website, is priced fantastic. So I don't want to necessarily say blind buy worthy, but you'll end up having this in your collection if you're interested in the brand. So there's that. So that's Ardent, coming in at 24. Now, coming in at 23 will be the surprise on the list, and it sucks because it is a great fragrance. The only thing is, it's been done. It's been done, and it's been beat to hell. So coming in at 23 is Tiger. And I'm pretty sure you can assume who they're copying. And that's Bulgari's Tiger. Now, Tiger, again, you can see, beautiful bottle, fantastic bottle. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. The reason why it's at 23 is it's just there's Sospiro Vibrato, there's maybe Zeus, A Wonderful Flight, there's Bulgari Tiger. There's so many iterations of this DNA. Does it make sense to spend 13 to 1400 on a fragrance like this that is beat to hell? No, doesn't make sense. Does it wear well? Absolutely. Is it very similar to those three that I mentioned? Carbon copy. But it wears better, it wears more elegantly. Does it wear that much more elegantly, with the price difference? Absolutely not. In my honest opinion, you can get away with any of the other ones. You'll feel better, you'll feel nicer, and you can save your budget realistically for the other bottles on this list, right? So, as much as I love this, and I got a partial of it, so saved a bit of money there for me, and I at least got the Zodiac into my collection. Um, if you can get a partial, do it. It's nice. But again, you're sacrificing, right? Less juice, and you're still paying a high price per ml. It's just, I wish there was more creativity with this. It wears much more elegantly than Tygar. Like, it's more subtle. It's more kind of close to the skin, and it has a blooming effect. But realistically, I don't think it's worth the price. And a lot of reviewers will say that. So, Tiger from Boadicea is coming in at 23. Now, I'll jump to the next one just because I have a decant of it. This is coming in at number 22, and this is Orica. This is another Zodiac fragrance. Reason why Orica is coming in at number 22 for me is it's very designer-esque, meaning that, again, when you're looking at a Zodiac fragrance in the 12 to 13 to $1,400, the creativity is something that I'm looking for, or the artistry of mastering a DNA is also something that I'm really, really looking for. Um, Now, even though you put creativity aside, Orica is a beautiful smelling scent. You get beautiful citruses in there. You get a nice, warm, creamy type of dry down. It's very designer-esque, very, very easy to like, very easy to wear. I think for me, my issue was the longevity with it for a $1,300 fragrance. Longevity was something that I didn't much care for, but the scent profile is nice. Is it complex? No. Is it something that will kind of wow you? No. But when you spray it and you wear it, you'll feel good, you'll feel nice, you'll like it. I am considering, if it does become available, to pick up a partial of it because I've worn it, I've enjoyed it. It's something that I feel like I can go through, like I'll wear over and over again. And to me, I'd rather have something that I'd wear than something that I wouldn't and just have sit there. So, in my honest opinion, I do like Orica. It's just there isn't too much complexity with it. And if it does come up at a good price, then I'll snag it. If it doesn't, then I'll be patient and I'll wait. But that's my thoughts on Orica. Again, I do like it, and I'm just nursing the decant, to be honest with you, until something opens up. So, number 22 was Orica. 2 Zodiacs in a row. Now, coming in at 21 is one of my favorites from the collection, even though it's ranked at 21. But I do enjoy wearing it. This one is a very, very unisex. Again, not very, femme-leaning. However, very, very easy for anybody to pull off. This one is a wonderful fragrance, and 21 is my favorite number. So, kudos to you for drawing it. This is Heroin. Not like the drug, like the fragrance, which is almost like a drug. Heroin is fantastic. Heroin is a wonderful floral composition. It's beautiful in the air. It's whimsical. You have a wonderful composition of beautiful floral notes such as violet, your white, your rose florals in here. It does dry down a little bit powdery, but this is a heavenly composition. And anybody that I've actually shown this fragrance to has fallen head over heels. If you're a fan of Chanel, the Privé line, like Les Exclusifs, this is something that you would appreciate a lot more. However, if you don't know too much about that, that's fine. This is something that I still think you'd end up liking. And in my opinion, I'd say is a worthy go out of your way to get a sample to kind of make your own decision. You may not like it, but there's a higher chance that you will like it. I think it's done absolutely well. It's beautiful. It's a happy fragrance. It's there's so much energy with this, and it's not a powdery that kind of sticks and feels mucky. It's a powdery that kind of has a little bit of aromatics to it. The sweetness is done well. It's tamed well, and it goes really, really well with the beautiful powdery florals that come out of this fragrance. Um, Really, really wonderful stuff. Highly recommend. And again, more feminine leaning, but again, both genders can really pull this off. And that is Heroin coming in at 21. To the vein. Now we're making our way down this list fairly quickly. Mm. Now this is a wonderful summer banger of a fragrance. The reason why it's coming in at 20. This is Azrak, or Azrak. It's Azrak. Um, Azrak, like Affleck. Anyways, Azrak is so good for summer. It's so beautiful. It's so, I'd like to say aquatic. Clean, fresh, soapy, beautifully aquatic, wonderful. Azrak is wonderful. There's a floral component to this, in my honest opinion. It's beautiful. I remember when I first got my sample of it, it was a 10 ml. My first wearing, I sprayed it and I said, yeah, nah, I'm not even waiting. This is a full bottle. I just sprayed it on my hand right now. Oh, there's a soapiness to it that's very clean. It's done so well. And in the warmer weathers where the air is kind of flowing, it's a little bit hot, this fragrance is a stunner. You feel well put together. You feel amazing. You feel happy, which I think is the biggest thing, especially when you're wearing a fragrance. You get that confidence. It's done extremely well. Azrak is, without a doubt, I think one of the better summer bangers and almost a must-have in the Boadicea collection. So get your nose on this one. I definitely think this may be something that you'd enjoy. It's almost there with like, Aqua Sapphire type of feel, but obviously those ones are like, they're good coming up. But Azrak is done incredibly well. Really, really, really nice. So give it a try, see what you think, and if you do, let me know what you think of this. Our next fragrance is Amethyst at number 19. Amethyst is fantastic. This is a beautiful fragrance for fall, winter, in my honest opinion. When the weather is getting cold, cooler, when it's actually really cold, this is a fragrance that is perfect. It's so warm, it's so comforting. It has a tiny little bit of a leather note. You're looking at something that has a plethora of sweetness, but not overtly sweet. The amber really takes precedence with the vanilla kind of lingering in the background and a soft, smooth sandalwood. Here, the sandalwood is very, very nice to kind of allow the remainder of the fragrances to kind of bloom naturally. Amethyst is just really, really done well. In my honest opinion, it's sort of like on the Grand Soir type of vein, but like with a little bit more complexity. It's really, really addicting. And the cool thing about this is if you do happen to get it on clothing or whatnot, the fragrance does a tremendous job of blossoming and blooming off of you. It's a very potentially loud fragrance, a room filler. At least for me, I sprayed, I think, 3 around my neck, and I was wearing like a scarf like this. And it's just something that just kept going, and it was a powerhouse. So, in my honest opinion, take a look at Amethyst. I think Amethyst is a beautiful, warming fragrance for cooler weather. And that's 19 Amethyst. Beautiful bottle, too. This is going to be a very unpopular opinion. and it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, Coming in at number 18, we're going to talk about a fragrance that is hype beast, very, very expensive. Now, I'm not trying to factor in the pricing of the fragrance too much. More so just kind of, talk about the scent profile. But this is Faith or Iman. Pakistan exclusive. You see the beautiful green, right? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It really is. Think of Aqua Sapphire, aka Mega Mare, mixed in with Ganymede, but with no metallicness. It's a beautiful aquatic floral type of fragrance that relies a little bit more on the aquatic side. It's done really well. It's a powerhouse. It holds its own when it comes to it kind of flourishing off your body. The reason why it's down here is mostly that its DNA is very similar to the one coming up next and Aqua Sapphire. Um, the thing with that is I understand that is beautiful and I understand that the DNA wears extremely, extremely well. It's just there's so many different options that if you weren't to get this fragrance, you could kind of move on and pick something else up. It's not a, game breaker. However, Iman slash Faith is really, really nice. Summer, spring banger. Summer, spring banger. The way that this fragrance sits and the way that it kind of blossoms, there's this elegance to it, there's this subtlety to it, there's this softness to it that just delivers a very, very smooth experience. Bottle's beautiful as well. But again, now talking about the price, the fact that this is kind of discontinued or in short supply, the pricing of it is redonkulous. So I wouldn't go out my way to pick this up. I'd rather pick up the next fragrance on this list, or Aqua Sapphire, and just kind of go on about my day. And then if I need to layer it with a Ganymede, maybe just give me one spray of Ganymede because it's strong as hell, and Aqua Sapphire, and I'm good to go, man. Honestly, honestly. But Faith slash Iman is fantastic, no doubt about it. It's just, it doesn't do too much on the creative side in comparison to the others on the list. And the similarities to the others on the list is just something that kind of makes me say the exclusive for Pakistan was awesome, a great idea. But then it's like, there's other things like it, right? So coming in at 18 is Faith slash Iman. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. But fantastic fragrance nonetheless. Now moving on to the next fragrance, the second last in this video. This is a Zodiac. A Zodiac that I'm in love with. I really, really love this. And again, now that we're kind of under the 20s, I think even as high as like 25 were fragrances that I really, really love. So, take it as you will. But coming in at 17 is Hasu from Zodiac, Year of the Rabbit. Orica was Year of the Rat. Tiger is, the tiger. But Hasu is Year of the Rabbit, which I am as well. Love the bottle design. Maybe might be, just me and being Year of the Rabbit. But what I love about this fragrance is it does have similarities, and not entirely, but it does have similarities to Faith, Iman, the last fragrance we were just talking about, where you have sort of like a Ganymede type of feeling to it, but this focuses more on the aromatic and green spicy side. And when I say spicy, I'm using that very, very loosely. This is a beautifully blended, beautifully concocted fragrance. Amazing for warmer weather, cooler weather like spring, maybe just the early parts of fall. This fragrance capitalizes on such wonderful notes that I like, such as lavender. You have cypress in here. You have hay, which is cool. It's a cool note to have in a fragrance, but the execution is fantastic. Fantastic. So really, really love this fragrance. And I just kind of like to maybe put a little perspective here. There's another house by the name of Zoologist. I don't know if you guys know it. Hopefully you do. If you don't, then it's cool. You can familiarize yourself if you want to. Zoologist released a fragrance which was Rabbit. As the creative side of it is here, in my honest opinion. The thought process is here. What Zoologists did is they made a carrot cake in a fragrance and bottled it up and sold it. And when you think about something that's wearable, I think that is really not too wearable, especially if you're a gourmand lover. A lot of people will like it, they'll wear it. It is what it is. Fine, sure, whatever. For me personally, no. I don't want to smell like a friggin' carrot cake with the frosting. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even just the carrot and the cake part, but even the frosting. Like, it's very, very sweet. But when you think about something like this is a very blissful type of fragrance. This is a rabbit running through a field. You get the little nuances of that. The greenness, the spiciness, the journey, the wind kind of blowing, and the aromatics in here, the almost sort of like the fougere side of things, right? The cleanliness of it mixed in with the hay. It's a wonderful thing. It's such a beautiful fragrance. And it wears so beautifully light. It really resembles a rabbit. And even thinking about, the other zodiacs in the collection, I don't think there's a fragrance in the zodiac collection that represents the animal as much as this does, in my honest opinion. I think this one is a absolute banger of a fragrance, and it seems like it's low on the list at 17, but this is a list of my personal collection, meaning that a lot of the fragrances that I have, I really like. So coming in at 17 is, no slouch. I definitely think this is one that's kind of worth its money in the Zodiac collection. So give it a try if you do get a chance, at least sample, and I'll have sample links in the description below. But Hasu is fantastic. But the last fragrance of the video is number 16, and this is Boadicea's Lavish. What I love about Lavish, and I think you guys probably know this now about me, especially if you're not new to the channel, I love my green fragrances. Lavish is green. It is vetiver. Now, if you want a fragrance to compare it to, and the only one that really gives it the most best iteration of what it really is Raja's vetiver. And I think vetiver Parfume, not the Parfum Cologne. This is a sparkling green vetiver fragrance, beautifully dry, with such a beautiful sparkle that kind of has such an uplifting characteristic to it. If you are a fan of vetiver, in my honest opinion, this is a must-have. A lot of people will say, oh, it smells like Tom Ford's gray vetiver. I personally don't see it. If you maybe break it down on the most simplistic type of scale, sure, you could go and say that. But the way that this fragrance is executed, the way that it kind of blossoms off of you, leaves a beautiful scent trail. It's that beautiful greenness of the vetiver, that dryness of the vetiver that really stands out and makes you really, really say, in all of its simplicity, wow. Honestly, honestly, this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful fragrance. A pleasure that I have it in my collection. At a point in time, this fragrance came out, sold, Boadicea didn't make any more, and people were dying for it. Like, not dying, like nobody's out there killing each other, but people were realistically like, when is this fragrance coming back? Like, what is Boadicea doing? Are they bringing it back? And I guess they listened and they brought it back, snagged up a bottle, and it's priced decently well, to be honest with you, for a fragrance that executes as well as this does. That's why I think, to me, it comes in as 16. So if you're a huge fan of vetiver and you like that dryness, there will not be a citrusy component to this, like a Terre d'Hermes. This is a very sparkling vetiver that really glistens. It feels very nice. And I think this is a vetiver that you can wear in all seasons. So, in my honest opinion, one of the best vetivers that I've smelled. So, that's Lavish kind of rounding out episode 3. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking the list is kind of rounding out to be really, really nice as of late. And I think we only got 2 more episodes coming. Next episode, we're going to hit 15 to 5, and then we're going to close it out with 5 to 1. So, with some closing thoughts. So, you know, please show that support. Please hit that subscribe, like, share, and comment below what your scent is, your favorite scent from Boadicea, and your scent of the day. And I truly, truly appreciate the support. Please check. I'll have links for samples down below. I can't wait to bring you episode 4. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Much love. Peace out and smell amazing as always. Bye.